Watch that.
Okay, fine. So Thunderstone Dude, can you come to the library, the tabletop library, and we can play Thunderstone at 5? Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
I connect them.
Can y'all hear me? Here we go. What's going on, guys?
Ew. That's not where it goes.
What's going on? This is my second PAX, 7 from Texas. This is actually for Gabe. He made a writing. He was like playing around with his son, like make-believe Star Wars or whatever. Yeah, he was the emperor and he littered. Yeah, I was wondering if you would ever like make a little comic strip of that.
That was the original idea. I told him, I said, why did you tell that story? Yeah, that's comic material.
Well, I was waiting for it. I clicked the comic and I was thinking maybe it would be it, and it wasn't. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a time where we can't think of a comic. You know what? It's time. Yeah,
storage.
People responded to that news post a lot more than I expected, and so I probably should have saved it for a comic. In my head, it wasn't comic material, and so that's why I used it as a post. But yeah, people seem to like it, so I would have no problem drawing that out. That would be a lot of fun.
Gotcha. I got one more question. Have y'all ever considered having Tycho draw like the comic and then you write like the words?
Hey, you should come draw Tycho.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you guys for everything.
Oh, thank you. You're going to give everyone a tremendous gift now.
Do you want me to leave the underline drawing? You don't need it.
My deck actually has its own pack that you can attend. So we talk to you, and now we're going over here. It's animated. It's our new animated series. Yeah, there's your slash fiction right there. Yeah, that mouth is a little bit too ready. I think that adventure might be over. We'll see. What's up?
I wanted to say, firstly, thank you for a fantastic convention and for a fantastic webcomic.
Oh, thank you. I've been having a lot of fun here.
So much of my life. I initially had one question. I now, after that last trip, have two.
It's germinated? Okay.
Firstly, I have traveled here nearly 45 whole minutes from Worcester, Massachusetts to ask you this one question. Whatever happened to the bench?
Is Robert here?
I'm sure this has been covered in previous PAXs and news forum posts and so forth, but I've been trying for so long to find like the bench archives or something, And with community collaborative sort of content being all the rage nowadays, I think it may actually be time to bring the bench back, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not looking down at my phone because you are uninteresting. I'm looking at my phone so I can call Robert real quick and ask him if I can tell you about the bench.
Fair enough.
One moment. What the You may be quite certain that the bench is returning in a form more powerful than you could ever imagine. Like, it's actually really cool. Oh, well, a million years ago, we actually ran 2 comics. We ran Penny Arcade, and we also ran a site that is the weirdest sound I've ever heard in my life.
Is that really somebody's phone?
No, it's a tiny party going on in someone's pocket. I want to be a part of that party. Anyway, so we ran actually 2 comics, and so one of them was The Bench, which was essentially a comic that people submitted in. We created the comic frames and the basic characters, and then people would edit them in Photoshop and submit them, and I was sort of like the editor, and I would go through and I would choose, I would remove the ones, first of all, that were just pictures of lesbians.
And save those in a
separate archive for another site that was a pay site. But at that point, I mean, I would go through and I was a curator, basically. I would choose, 30 or 40 of these strips and put them up. There used to be a Sunday update on the site as well. And Robert just really liked the idea of the bench. He wanted to bring it back, but it's not going to require any Photoshop this time. It's actually going to be a web-enabled tool that you can do a lot of really good stuff with. So. That is Robert's passion project. All right.
I think I'm up.
Costume is so great.
Thank you. I actually had a few.
Ho ho! Very nice.
So I do need your autograph later, Jerry, for my book.
We can make it.
Been lucky for Mike's. But I do have a question that kind of goes out to both of you, although one is specifically for Mike. Mike, I found a lot of inspiration in your drawing just to be able to watch the progression.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I myself am a graphic design student, and I'd like to maybe start doing some of my own web comics, but I was wondering, how did you get started in Photoshop, and is this all self-taught? I'm watching you up here, but that's just completely amazing how at home you are with it, and I was wondering if you had taken some classes, or if it's completely self-taught.
Photoshop was 100% self-taught. And my first copy of Photoshop was 4.0.
Wow.
And from then on, it's just been a sort of constant learning, process. And the thing about Photoshop is there's so much that it can do, and there's so many different ways to do the same thing that everybody has a different way of using it. So, a lot of times when Scott or Chris will come over and I'll be drawing a strip, or I'll watch them draw a strip, and it'll be like, wow, I had no idea there was a tool that did that. Like, I've been wanting to do that thing forever. So, the main thing is, just mess around with it, but also, find other people that you think use it well and ask them what the hell they're doing.
All right, and then also, one other question. As you can see, I'm kind of a fan of some of your characters that you've made yourself. And I was wondering, either, referring to the Cardboard Tube Samurai, or even some of your D&D characters that you've created, have you ever thought about doing any more, web novels or graphic novels in regards to the adventures that you guys have?
Yeah, I would love to do a lot more long-form stuff, but the fact of the matter is, it's just a time thing, And a lot of the time when we are able to do something that's 6 or 7 pages, that time ends up being spent on a pay project like the Dragon Age comic or something like that, right?
Right.
But yeah, I would love to do more. I would love to do an Automata graphic novel. That's like.
We can only do, as you've seen, there's sort of a pattern, right? It's like, if we do a story that's one of these big stories, it's always exactly 5 or 6 pages. It's just because that's all the time we can take away, but those stories go on for pages and pages. It's just that we never get a chance to do that stuff. But like you said, when we get back, our plan is to sort of like treat ourselves to more work.